Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. You will hear that it is just me today. So Kat is off on a well-deserved celebration because she has a very special birthday coming up, which I am sure she will tell us all about next week. So that will be coming. So have a wonderful time, Kat. I know you're going to be listening at some point. Wishing her the happiest of birthdays. So yes, this week's episode of the podcast, it's just me. It's Charlotte here, guys. And this is going to be a deep one. It's quite deep, I won't lie. I've been wondering about what I really want to say to you guys. And then an audio on Instagram landed. It was like the universe just plonked it there for me. And I know that this is what I need to speak about today. And I'm going to just give a little warning on this one, just a little trigger warning to just be kind to yourself as you listen to this. However, I think it's really important that we do listen to this. It is something that Bob Proctor said, and he said, the average person tiptoes through life, hoping they make it safely to death. What a dumb game. It's not a practice run. We get one shot at life. I'm just going to read that again. The average person tiptoes through life, hoping they make it safely to death. It's really hard hitting, right? And when I listened to this, I won't lie, my initial thing was like, oh, it's a bit too intense, like to share. But I really feel like it's important that I do today. And I want to share with you the moment that I stopped tiptoeing. And this is where I'm kind of going to take us back a little bit in my life to when we had our two beautiful Labradors stolen from us. It was the day after they were stolen. I literally felt like I had been plonked into my worst nightmare as an animal lover, as owner of our boys who are our family members. They are. And I found myself on that Sunday morning in an empty house, feeling so hopeless, so vulnerable, so I don't even know the words, just open to everything. I had also just received an email, which was the bout of our first experience of blackmail, where someone claimed to have our dogs and they asked for £2,000 to get for us to transfer them £2,000. Otherwise, I think the words were our dogs would be gone and done for. And it was an email from a lady. I don't know whether it was a lady or a man that landed in my inbox. And I literally, in these moments, me as a person, I historically have always been described as nice. I'm a nice person. I love being nice. And I think there's so much more to nice than just nice. But I've also historically maybe been a little bit naive, and I believe in the good in people. I always have, and I always will. However, in these moments, I felt like I was thrown into my worst nightmare, and it was like my authentic self was being exposed. And after just receiving that email, that's how I can describe it. It's my worst nightmare. And I remember feeling so hopeless. And I went upstairs and I filmed a video that I posted out on social media where I could barely talk. It was coming through tears, a lot of distress, and I begged people to continue sharing the posts to get our dogs home. And this was the moment, I believe, that I changed as a person, because there was no tiptoeing in those moments. I was being exposed to my worst nightmare in many forms. Our dogs we didn't know where they were. We knew they were with someone and we didn't know what their intentions with them were. We were then exposed to blackmail, and we were also exposed to a lot of online negativity, which I tried to shelter myself from. However, it's hard. It is hard when something like that happens and people are calling you out, judging you. What I do want to say is we had an incredible amount of positivity and goodness. However, there was a lot of negativity, and it was an active choice of mine not to focus on the bad, but shift that focus to the good as much as possible. But in that moment, sharing that video of me, that was probably the rawest, most stripped back. There was nothing else. I had nothing else to give. That was the only thing that I could see as a way to help in that moment. I believe is the moment that I stopped tiptoeing in life and decided to, maybe not decided in those moments. Let's say I changed in that moment. And later, when I reflect back on that, I then decided that they were kind of like, that was all my worst nightmare situations in one. And the world didn't end. And that's what I want to share today. And it was a big realization for me. People can call us out, people can not agree with something. And that's okay. For me, before that, I found that really hard. It was like I was searching for, oh my gosh, I've said something wrong. Or I'll post something. I'm like, oh, is it gonna are people gonna want to read it? Like, no. From that moment on, I'm not that person anymore. I saw myself as so raw in that moment, but also, I'm going to say the word beautiful, because do you know what my intention in that was? To do every single thing that I could do to get our dogs home. And what a wonderful trait that is to have. And this is what we don't see in ourselves unless we choose to have a little look and actually go, yeah, you know what? Like, my intentions are good. I'm a good person, and start giving ourselves the credit that we deserve. So that was the moment that I stopped tiptoeing. And it has been a journey since then. I've crept back and done a little bit more tiptoeing. However, on a whole, when I'd experienced that, I just had to not tiptoe anymore. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't willing to tiptoe anymore. I think being in that position, for me personally, I had to choose to see who I am and believe in who I am. There was a few weeks after that I was on probably one of my lowest days. I actually journaled about it and put, it's probably my lowest day. And I found myself questioning what the point is. What's the point in being a good person when someone can walk into your life and rip it in two? What's the point in being there for others and feeling as depleted as I was feeling? What's the point? And I genuinely believe from that, I have been on a journey to discover the point in being me. And that's what the Authentic Girls Club is about. Discovering the point in us being us and putting her, that 5-year-old girl who was still in there, who was there in those moments of me crying on my phone, putting her into the world, because she holds all that I need. So I hope in sharing this today, it really kind of, I don't think that we have to go through something like what we went through to see this. We all have our own traumas. And I think that is another topic that, you know, before having gone through that, the thing that I was continually telling myself was, I don't feel like I've been through enough to say what I want to say. And that was in the early stages of me getting TAGC out into the world. And the universe delivered me that. I genuinely believe we all have been through enough to say what we want to say, to do what we want to do, to be who we want to be. and it is a decision. I don't think we need to go through something terrible. We can decide today to not tiptoe anymore. We can decide to go on a journey to discover more about ourselves, to discover why we are the way we are, the beautiful parts of that, the things that maybe we don't like quite so much that we want to get better at and heal and grow as a person. It's this journey of discovery, this journey of discovering what the point is, what the point in being you is. And there is so much point to us being us. There is so much point in me being nice and me being naive. I believe in the good of people, in the good in people. I still do, no matter like what we went through in those moments. That's my piece of magic. So I hope this inspires you today to really maybe just set out on this journey of discovery. Ask yourself, who are you? Not with any labels, not with like mum, wife, partner, daughter, friend. Remove all the labels. Who are you as a person? And really connect back with that, all those wonderful reasons that you are you. If it's hard in the beginning, I get it. Like I really, really do. And that's what the Authentic Girls Club is here to do. We do this work together. We really discover who we are and what we want, and we go out there and we get it. That is literally what the Authentic Girls Club is there for. And we do it together. And a little fun fact, before everything happened, TAGC was going to be Instagram focused as well as self-development focused. Like I was going to help women to be their authentic selves online. Went through that and I was like, this is so much bigger than online. This is life. Let's not tiptoe anymore. Let's decide to be who we were meant to be. Let's decide to stop worrying about what other people think. I want to tell this now, like we had a lot of judgment in those moments. I remember we even went onto a news channel to share our story, and there was a moment of kind of that judgment that even popped up there. And my husband said something that I'm like, loved it. He was like, oh gosh, what was it now? To basically not judge and educate people. Like judgment for me is just, if you're judging people, you need to do this work. You need to heal who you are. Like we shouldn't be judging anybody. Like, and even now I find this, a tricky spot, because if I see, a dog tied up outside of a shop, it instills a lot in me. I would never judge that person because they might not, like we didn't know that how big dog theft was. But I can educate. I can share that story in a nice way, and I can say I would just not wish this on my worst enemy. I've probably got a little off piece there. So I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to just share Bob Proctor's words once more. The average person tiptoes through life, hoping they make it safely to death. What a dumb game. It's not a practice run. We get one shot at it. So let's decide today to stop tiptoeing, to stop worrying about what people think, to go inwards, to go on this journey to discovering who we are, what we want, why we want it, and then let's go get it. Because life is too short not to do that. Sending you so much love, guys. This also just leads me on really nicely, actually, to something we've got coming up in the club, which is on the 21st of March at 8 p.m. We have an online Zoom masterclass, which is Cyclical Living, a guide to living in alignment with your natural rhythm. And it is with an incredible lady, Carrie Pauly. And this is going to be fantastic. I personally have done a couple of things over this past year to really do this, align with my natural rhythm. One thing is my sober journey. I genuinely believe that has helped me, because it has just removed the ups and downs of how I was feeling and really just let me see myself for all that I am in HD. No, nothing else. But the other thing that I have done is I actually came off my contraceptive pill, which I've been on for a long, long time. And I moved on to natural cycles, which is where you take your temperature every morning, and the app does its thing and really tracks and provides you with the information about where you're at with your cycle. And that has been for me an absolute game changer. It has been so insightful. I didn't realize quite what we go through as women in our cycle. I'm going to hold my hands up, did not understand it. I really didn't. I didn't understand when I was doing what. There is, when we learn what Carrie is going to share with us, it is going to be life changing. Like for us as women to tap into what our natural rhythm is and how we can make the most of it, how we can live more in the moments where we're up there, and then how we can be kinder and more compassionate and slower maybe in the moments where, we're needing it, our body's crying out for it. So if you're interested in that, I'll put all the details in the show notes. You can join us for that as a one-off online event. So you can join us from wherever you are in the world, if obviously time zones work. The recording will also be given out if the time zone doesn't work. It's 8 p.m. UK time. But also for the very same price, you can join the club, the membership. You can join the TAGC membership, which is your space to do what I just said before. Figure out who you are, figure out what you want, take some steps to go be, go live your life to the absolute full. There is so much magic happening inside of there right now. We just signed off a call this morning, which was our weekly practice. We have that 6:15 a.m. every Monday, and it is the most powerful way to start the week. So have a little look on our website. All the details will be in the show notes, but we would love to see you at this event and possibly in the club as well. So yeah, really, really hope to chat soon. And just know that we're here as well if you have any questions about anything. Sending you so much love, guys. Have a wonderful day and speak to you very soon.